could totally go put makeup on right now and look super presentable, but I really just don't give a shit. So I got a nice camera and a speaker and all that jazz for these YouTube videos, but I wanted to talk about when you're going through stuff and you want to lean on people and nobody's there, but the minute they need somebody, they come to you. And it's like, you know, they say you can lean on me, you can lean on me, you can lean on me, but it's just like, you just know in your heart that you couldn't, because it would be too much for them. And I'm sure I could, but my love language has always been like not leaning on people. And that's how I love them, because I just know that, you know, not to like compare, but sometimes I just really don't think that people could handle the shit that I've been through. So I just keep it all inside. But then it gets to be too much. So when it gets to be too much and, you know, you've struggled with depression your whole life, what do you do? Like, who do you call? How do you get through that moment? You know, because no matter how healed you get from an eating disorder, anxiety, or panic attacks, you know, those voices still loom in your head. And like, you know, they'll just be like 0 to 100. They'll be like, just jump off the balcony. And you're like, I just had a bad day. Relax. So I wanted to talk about what I do when I feel like the things I'm going through are too much for everyone around me to handle. And what I do is I cry. If the day's over and I got all my shit done, I will literally just cry, because it's scientifically proven that having a meltdown is actually like okay, and like you can recover better from that, like once you just like get it out and like move on with your day. Usually I would call my mom, but you know, I'm 26 now, so it's like time to handle my shit and let my mom like have a break. You know, she was there doing a lot of stuff, so now it's like I'm trying to figure it out on my own. So, you know, maybe I cry, and then I like to be alone. And I know some people say like introverted and extroverted, and that's fine. I really don't think that's the case. I think some people know how to handle their shit and some people don't. Sorry, not sorry. People that are going through stuff and think they're extroverted, they just can't sit still with the thoughts in their head. And we've all been there. I've been there. I've had moments where, you know, things were just too much, so I was just go, so that I didn't have to deal with anything going on in my head. But it doesn't matter how fast or how far you run away from your problems, they catch up. They're faster than you. So I've just always tried to face them head on, be honest with people, be honest with myself. You know, when something hurts, the older I get, the better. I have cat fur in my mouth, sorry. Wow, she death glares me. Get a cat, they said. Anyways, I just try to deal with it. I try to be alone. I often get very like snippy like at people, especially when they like complain to me and I'm already going through stuff, especially when I'm going through more than they are. And that is such a problem, because you cannot treat people that way. Like, you can't live like that. It's not cool. It's disrespectful. That's something that I'm working through. You know, sometimes I rarely meet people who have gone through more than I have. And it causes such a heart issue, because I get jealous, because, you know, I feel like God was like, here's all this shit. And I was like, cool. So I just dealt with it, and I did it, and I did what was asked of me, and then it just like kept getting harder and harder, and I was like, and then people would come to me with like these little problems, because, you know, they love me and they thought it was a two-way street. You know, they thought I was coming to them with the big stuff too, but I wasn't. I was handling it myself, and it just caused like a ton of resentment in my heart towards all these people. So I've spent like the past 6 months like getting real with people, and you know, telling them, one, like, I need space right now to handle my shit, because I'm not in a place to like be nice, and it's something I'm working through. And then like I will come back to them and I will try to be as loving and as kind as possible, the way they deserve and the way I actually feel about them, regardless of the bullshit that I've been through, because that's not their fault. You know, it's not my fault either, but whatever. It is your responsibility to grow from that, and become a better person. So every time I say become another person, I picture the part in Master of Disguise. If you haven't seen that part, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but he's like, become a better person. But anyways, so, you know, shit hits the fan. I'm working technically 3 jobs right now. I'm physically working 50 hours a week, and I'm in school. And I'm just trying to, you know, keep myself afloat and like handle all the things that I've been through and like process and heal, and, you know, also live a normal life of a 26-year-old single girl. And that's a lot. And then, you know, I have people around me that like depend on me because sometimes I give good advice, apparently. I don't know. That's what I've heard. Wild concept. But I just try to be there for all of them, but there comes to a point where, you know, I need to close the door and cry and journal and eat something and just go to sleep and start over the next day, because life sucks sometimes, but whatever. You get through it. And I know, like, with the older that I get, it's one of my favorite things about growing up. Like, I literally wouldn't trade it for anything. I love being 26, and I love learning myself, and I love learning more about life. But I love the fucking fact that I know it gets better. And I promised myself when I was little, like when I would cry myself to sleep because everyone either hated me or just made me feel like they hated me, or, you know, told me to shut the fuck up constantly, and I would just curl into a ball as a little kid, I would just promise myself that it would be okay. And I'm 26. I've said that like 16 times. And I just know no matter how bad life gets, and life has gotten really bad for me on many, many occasions, I have sat in that moment with my pain and been like, I'm going to be okay because I'm going to take the steps I need to get through this. This sucks. And I respect that, and I respect the way I'm feeling. And, you know, when I'm in private, then I close the door and then I can fall apart and take care of myself. And, you know, I just think it's very important for people to know that it's okay if shit hits the fan. It's okay if you're not okay. It's okay if you can't take care of everybody. But you need to take care of you always, because if you're empty and I always explain it this way, like if you were swimming in the middle of the ocean and all of your loved ones are around you and we're all drowning, and I'm a good swimmer, especially in the ocean. Like, I'm a strong swimmer. I'm not fast, but I'm a strong swimmer. You can, you know, hold people up, and we do that in life. Like, we pick people that we want to do life with and we hold them up. But when you're exhausted and the water's coming in and you can't help anybody, you can't save them if you don't go, I just need to catch my breath, like, hold on, like, I'll be right back, like, 1 second, and you just, like, you know, you catch your breath, and then you come back, and then you help everybody. And it's bullshit sometimes when you feel like no one's being there for you, but I genuinely feel like the lesson I'm learning this year is that it is so important to learn how to take care of yourself. Because if you can't do that, and if you can't understand yourself, and if you can't get yourself through those moments, you will not be able to absorb when anyone else is trying to help you, because you won't care, because you don't listen to yourself. And that's a byproduct of loving yourself. Like, you believe yourself, you believe that you're going to be okay, and then you believe that person. So when someone does come along and they do offer you a helping hand, you can receive it because you know what that looks like, you know it's genuine, and you also just have this just steady foundation in your life that's you. And you know that if people come and go, you know, it's releasing attachments. If people come and go, that you're okay, you're good, and you can handle that. And I think it is so important that when we want to reach out to people, there are times when you can and you should, but I feel like more often than not, like I would say 8 out of 10 times, you should probably be handling it yourself. So like today, when I feel like everything's bullshit, I would call someone and be like, hey, blah, 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 or dump on them. But the older I get, the more I'm like, all right, you know how to get through this. And then I do. So I just wanted to, in 10 minutes, encourage you how to get through really shitty situations in life, and just absolutely know that without a shadow of a doubt, you're going to be okay. And that comes, it's like, muscle memory for me now. It's just, you just know how to take care of yourself. You know what you need, and maybe you are a little extroverted and you need somebody to sit next to you, or if your thoughts are really scary, definitely call somebody. 100% call somebody. Also call a doctor, because that's what I had to do when it was really bad, but now I'm okay because I did that. But, I think it's very important to figure it out by yourself, and to not be afraid of the thoughts in your head, and to just not let all the water come inside of you, and just step away, take a breather, know that you're going to be okay, and then you can come back to life, and your self-confidence and the love and respect that you have for yourself is something that no one can ever take away from you, and I highly recommend it.